Hey guys, welcome to Redneck Off the Range, and today we're going to test out whether or not a $10 fishing rod and reel combo is worth the money. Now, a little bit about this rod. This is an Ozark Trail Wayfarer, and it is a 5.5 foot medium light duty pole, and it comes with an open face spinning reel pre-spooled with 8-pound test line. So you get all that for just under $10 before tax. And it comes in two different colors. You can get it in either orange, like I have here, or you can get it in blue. And of course the top half of the pole is actually black. But we're gonna test out and see whether or not this rod and reel combo is worth $10. Will it catch some fish, or will it fall apart in the process? That is what we're going to find out today. Now, in this pond that I'm going to be fishing in, there are, I think, only 3 species of fish. There might be another species in there. I'm not 100% sure, but for sure there are bluegill, largemouth bass, and channel catfish. So, just like all my tests, we're going to start small and work our way up. So we're going to start out trying to catch some bluegill with this $10 Ozark Trail fishing rod. And to do that, we're going to use crickets. So the way I put a cricket on the line is I just take the hook and I put it right underneath the collar on the back of the cricket and just put it on like so. Definitely not used to fishing the open face reel, but I'll get used to it. Well, test number 1, it can catch a bluegill. Let's see if I can catch a few more of these guys. It's a little guy. On there. He just like stopped swimming every time I would try to reel him in. It's just another little bluegill. This one's a little bit bigger. You know, everybody talks about bass fishing, but I think catching bluegill is just as fun as bass fishing. That's just my opinion, though. And crickets is definitely a proven method if you're going for bluegill. I mean, oh man, they're just about gobbling these things up as soon as it hits the water. So test number 1 is definitely a success. It can catch bluegill without falling apart in the process. So let's try some bass now. Alright, so now we're on the deep end of the pond where I always catch the bass and the catfish, and for the bass I'm going to use this Ozark Trail crankbait kit. I think I'm going to use this one at the bottom, the crawfish patterned one, and see what I can catch. No bites with that first crankbait, so let's try the rattle lure and see if I get any better luck with that. Oh, did I get something? What do I get? Ooh. Took a while, but I finally got a bite. Ooh. And he's screaming out drag, too. Now with a small pole like this, it's hard to tell how big of a fish it actually is. It could be a pretty good sized fish. It could be a medium-sized fish, but what in the world? Did I even hook it? Like, what? Something's not right here. is actually a pretty good sized fish. If I can get it to come close enough to the bank to get it. Oh, at times like this, I wish I had a net. Well, I was able to catch a fish that size on this little bitty Ozark Trail rod, and the line didn't even break. I'm not 100% sure if I how I hooked him actually. Woo! Come here. So much moss on this thing. Yeah, I hooked him in the gill. He didn't, I don't know if he actually went for it, to be honest with you. I think I just hooked him on the way in. Let me grab my pliers. All right, let's see if I can get this hook out. There we go. Ow! Don't you bite me. Man, that's actually a pretty good sized fish for that little bitty rod and that cheap Ozark Trail crankbait. So, and the rod didn't break, so I'd say that's passing the test, if you ask me. All right, so the last test is my favorite, and that is, of course, trying to catch a catfish. Now, to catch a catfish, I brought some chicken gizzards. Usually I use chicken livers. However, I forgot to grab mine out of the freezer this morning, and the store only had chicken gizzards in stock. So we're gonna give them a try. Not sure how well this is going to work, but we're gonna give it a try and see if it works anyway, and hopefully catch ourselves a catfish. Just as I was starting to give up, things actually started to get exciting. The fish keep biting, nibbling on the chicken gizzard, and I've even had a couple of takes, but the fish doesn't stay on the hook. So I'm not sure if it is a catfish going for it or what, but we're gonna find out. Oh. See guys, that's what happens. The bobber goes under and the line stays taut for a few seconds and then the fish releases it. Maybe I'd have better luck if I had just a regular hook, but I don't have any regular J hooks that are big enough to use with a chicken gizzard, so all I have is treble hooks to use with this, because that's what I usually catfish with. I usually catfish with chicken livers and treble hooks, and the chicken gizzard is it's a more sturdy of a bait, and so it doesn't really require a treble hook like a liver does. All right guys, no luck with the chicken gizzards. I think I might have better luck with different hooks, but this little rod was able to catch a bluegill and a bass, and I'm not going to give up on the catfish. I think that's just more of a test of the bait itself and not the rod, because chicken gizzards, they're just not as bloody and delicious as chicken livers. I've also heard that chicken hearts are very good catfish bait as well. But so far, the verdict is, I would say that the Ozark Trail Wayfarer fishing rod and reel combo is worth $10. It can catch bluegill and it can catch pretty decent sized bass. And I'd be willing to bet that it could catch about a medium-sized catfish. Nothing huge, obviously, but I don't know, maybe a catfish about the size of that bass that I caught. So anyway, we're gonna revisit this test and try some different baits and see if I can catch any catfish. Take it different places, you know, the river or whatever, and see if I can catch any other species on this specific rod, and just see how it does. And we'll see if it's a decent fishing rod. So anyway, that's all for that video. So subscribe to my channel. Until next time, be safe. Alright guys, after I ended the video just trying to catch some more bluegill, I caught myself a catfish. So it's official. The Ozark Trail Wayfarer can catch bluegill, bass, and catfish. Granted, the catfish in this pond are not very big catfish, but I was able to catch one.